Hello, welcome to Critical Thinking. And today's topic is about the EEOC and how the EEOC is unable to help people who have been discriminated against with respect to taking these cases to court, such as what happened with me at the Port of Baltimore. Now, the EEOC has given me many letters to sue against Ports America down at the Port of Baltimore. And they also have given me a letter to sue Steamship Trade and Local 333, International Longshoremen. However, by them issuing out these letters to sue, that doesn't mean I am capable and able to get justice, because when one has a letter to sue and he takes it to court to file in the justice system, sometimes the judges dismiss the case because the opposition has lawyers who are able to persuade the judge to dismiss the case. Now, the judge may dismiss this case not all the time on the issue or the facts at hand, but maybe because he may feel or she may feel that the plaintiff, such as myself, may not be qualified to take this case to court, because they may try to create holes in your case against the defendants. Now, I know a lot of people may think this issue of individuals having a lawyer to go sue corporations or companies on the behalf of racial or sexual or any forms of discrimination. But I believe personally that the system that we have today is not adequate enough for helping individuals to sue corporations and companies or any other entity that may be discriminating against a person, such as myself. So I am advocating for artificial intelligence as judges, also using artificial intelligence to help plaintiffs in the form of moving their case through the legal system. And that can be done in many ways, such as an individual will go down to a robot that works at the courthouse and explain his or her issue to the robot, and the robot will take that information down, put it in a written form, and submit that information to another robot, which will be a judge. Yes, I am advocating for robots to be judges, because in China, they are already doing that. In America, we need to be doing it because we have biased judges. You can see that with the Supreme Court and other jurisdictions throughout the United States. These judges may be biased in the form of racist, sexist, and so-called whatever. However, from what I have been seeing in my days of dealing with the justice system, it's an extremely racist system. Extremely biased. Now, I don't care if you have a black judge. Just because you have a black judge doesn't mean that that judge is not biased against a black person. Because one must remember there was thousands of black Confederates who fought for the Confederacy. And they may be running conservatives. Yes, conservatives. That is a new form or code word for Or maybe for racists, Confederates in disguise. So, I myself have been abused by the system. And I would assume others have when it comes to receiving a letter of sue from the EEOC. Now, this system has been created in a way that the EEOC really doesn't have any power, because the EEOC should have their own judges to overlook or review cases in a justice way, where the plaintiff doesn't have to go to another court, such as a district court or federal district court or local district court. That's what I'm alluding to there. So at the moment, right now, the EEOC is basically an organization that doesn't have any power, because the EEOC is limited in its resources, which is understandable, because you cannot spend a lot of resources at the EEOC and not spend resources on other issues that affect citizens in the United States, such as health care, such as research and climate change, or research in viruses. We cannot spend a lot of resources in one agency such as the EEOC. So since we have a flaw in that system, the system should be changed. The EEOC should have their own judges, and their judges should be artificial intelligence. Because, as I stated, today's judges are very biased, such as these so-called conservatives. They are very biased. You can see it, obviously, with abortion. Now, what man and what woman or what other individual had the right to tell a person how they should treat themselves medically? Because an abortion is in a medical situation. Not no, let me get high situation, which them judges may be doing. Yes, who knows? We don't drug test judges. We don't test them for alcohol abuse. We don't do none of those things for our judges, because they supposed to be above those type of behavior, which is an illusion, because they're all human. So again, I am advocating that the EEOC has robotic judges. Yes, artificial intelligence. Those who talk about artificial intelligence may be a problem in the future are those who advocating control. Only people I hear talking about let us not use artificial intelligence is those rich folks. Elon Musk, the mother rich folks, or those guys who are in the part of that elite class, who have millions or connected to people who have money and millions. Why not? Why not? Why not? An individual who has little should be represented by the same system. As we say, the same system. And modern technology have brought us to this position where we can use artificial intelligence to have the same system. Because, the rich, such as Donald Trump's rich. All these poor people who like Donald Trump must be some crazy folks. Because, hey, all I see is a white rich guy talking whatever out of the side of his mouth. But the bottom line, he's not treated as we are. He can go around talking about judges being attacked, judges being hurt, their family, a person like me and you will get arrested. Get arrested! Locked up! Throw away the key! Of course they would do that to us, especially if you're black. But don't worry, white boy, you get the same treatment. Don't worry, white boy, you will get the same treatment. Let you go around doing that stuff, you poor white boy. Yeah, you get the same treatment. Don't worry, they slap you in that jail. But no, not old Donald. Just because he's a politician. Politician? What kind of stuff is that? And you politicians got better special treatment than a regular human being, regular individual, regular working man, such as myself. Now, let me get back to that issue. I'm a working man. Yes, I am a working man. I tried to sue Ports America, Steamship Trade, and Local 333. Those entities discriminated against me down at the Port of Baltimore. They tried to force me into slavery. Yeah, modern day slavery. So cunning, so original, so Americanized. America is definitely still committing slavery in this country. Let us not be fooled with that. Yes, America still practice slavery. And a lot of these corporations and other entities, even a union, supports that kind of stuff. Long as they are on top. They're the recipients of financial gain or financial support or whatever that may need in their elevation of living standards. Yes. Because I can tell you about the example. As a matter of fact, I am going to tell you about the example. I was told to do a job that was not my job. I'm a longshoreman. Let me tell you how the process works. As a longshoreman, I go down to the dispatch center. I pick out a job to do, which is my specific job to do for that day. I go down there and do my specific job for that day. And after I completed my specific job for that day, I was told to do another job, which I was not being paid for. But I didn't even really get paid for the job I did because I said I wasn't going to do that job. So basically, they use a double-edged sword of slavery on me. They said, we're not even going to pay you for the job you did. But the court system, EEOC said I had a case. But modern day, I don't know if that judge is a black Confederate. I don't know what he is. I know he was a judge. Judge Russell's supposed to be black. I'm going to get his name out there. Hell with that crap. Why not? His name's already public information on my document. So the bottom line, the judge said I didn't have a valid case. My due process wasn't violated. I didn't ask for any compensation or financial payment or whatever, how they place it. I didn't show that I was discriminated against. Well, I don't know what kind of drugs that judge was on, but I think I do have a right to talk about this judge and the system. Because the bottom line is, I was told to do a job that was not my job. If I was forced to do a job that's not my job, federal law said that's a form of slavery. Not just a federal law, the international law said it's a form of slavery. If you're forced to do a job that you do not wish to do, and you are told to do it, it's a form of slavery. And let me straighten this out. Even though I didn't do the job, but they gave me a warning letter. Told me the warning letter states that, listen, the warning letter is like a gun. Pow y'all! They shot you. Couldn't do your job. And they said, next time you don't do it, we'll shoot you again. That's what a warning letter is. I'm giving you a description of what a warning letter is. They shot me. They didn't pay me. And they said, oh, you wasn't abused. We didn't try to force you into slavery. Oh, yes, you did. And I want to be clear on that. There is still slavery in modern America. There's courts that support it. The institutions of corporations that support it. The institutions of, corporations, all three of them are corporations. Steamship Trade is a corporation. IOA, Local 333 is a corporation. And Ports America is a corporation. So therefore, a lot of corporations, I wouldn't say all, I would say there's a lot of corporations in America, even though they may be unions, support slavery against their members, especially those of color such as myself. Yes, they do. And that's what's happening down here in Baltimore, Maryland, at the Port of Baltimore, I must say. So I am thinking about this critically, because you have to look at it critically. That's why this is called critical thinking. Because if you don't look at it critically as a form of slavery, then they didn't pull the wool over your eyes. That's the way these crooks operate. They want to commit crimes and tell you they didn't commit a crime. They want to abuse you and tell you, I didn't abuse you. Yeah, they think you that stupid. Well, I'm going to have to give them the bad news. That's not me. But I am a poor individual who cannot afford a lawyer to appeal it. I am a poor individual who tried to fight this case on my own, who was unsuccessful because the justice system, the so-called justice system, the court system, the legal system, whatever you want to call it, does not support poor people such as myself. The only thing a poor person has going for them is the books they read and the information they take down to help combat against this injustice that takes place in America. Because a poor person, he doesn't or she doesn't have that kind of financial resources. And by not having these financial resources, that put a burden on the individual. That is the reason why I'm gonna have to get back to it. I need artificial intelligence as judges, and artificial intelligence to help us in this system. To create a new system where we have artificial intelligence to help people who do not have these financial resources. I'm tired of hearing about artificial intelligence is going to take over the world. No, I don't think so. I know we got a bunch of crooks are doing a good job at that right now. Tell me something crazy. I know that we have a bunch of crooks. That's right, I'm calling them crooks, because what they did to me tell me to do a job that is not my job. And let me explain the job again. I know I didn't explain it fully the first time, but I'm going to explain it this time. I was told to do the job of a deckman, or a foreman on the ship, a container ship. The law states that a deckman or foreman would do those kind of jobs. I do not do that kind of job. I came out of the hall as a lasher. They're going to tell me, we wanted you to be there for the crane operator, the trainee crane operator. Well, you want somebody to be there for the trainee crane operator, you should call back the operator to help the trainee operator. Or you should have hired a deckman. Or you should have a foreman on the ship. That's the rule. That's OSHA rule. That is international maritime rule. But Ports America is able to break all kinds of rules. Why? Because, let me get back to this issue. As those African brothers over there in Africa would say, it's about racism. Strictly racism. White people think they have the privilege to do anything to anybody, especially those at the top, at any time they wish to, and make any change the rules as they go, and the court system supports it 110%. Now, yes, I am an upset man, because what black man doesn't want to be a slave? I don't know any black person who wants to be a slave again in America. However, that's the way they treat you in America. They treat you and these corporations as a slave when they tell you to do this when it's not your job. That's the reason why I joined a union, to enforce rules so that I would not be treated as a slave in a union, in a unionized, let's say, institution, such as Local 333. However, I got some white guys at the head of the table these days, and white supremacy flows down from the top and all the way around. And I know them guys over there who represent me keep telling me, aren't we doing a great job? You know, we help all black folks equally. No, you help those who you want to help, that kisses your ring, who support your white supremacy. You help those, and those individuals think that the rest of us black folks are supposed to go along with it because they continue to say, it's not all about race, it's only about the green. Well, I don't know about all that, man, you know, and you tell that lie to somebody else. You can tell that lie to somebody else. That's what they do. These black Confederates get up there and speak, it's all about color. It's all about the green. Well, I don't know what you live in, what kind of world you living in, black man, well, I'm going to call him white boy, but they act like white boys. But you know how it is with a black Confederate. And, you know, they could come up with any kind of excuse, you know, like that boy sits on the Supreme Court. Some say he may be a black Confederate too, you know, because he come up with any kind of excuse to tell the rest of us, no, I'm just a conservative. Yeah, right, tell me anything. But I'm kind of glad that I see that some of us black folks, because I'm no nigger, let me get that straight. I think and I don't want to get off the subject, but I want to get that straight. Us black folks who are poor like myself, because I'm no nigger. Let me get that straight. No. Don't call me a nigger. I'm old school with that. Even though they say nigger is a Spanish word that meant black. No, nigger meant to kill and degrade, and it meant to treat me like an animal. Because that's what my grandfather said, and that's what my grandmother felt like too. And I must tell you, I believe in what they said, because that is my ancestors, and I respect my parents. And if you as a black person, if you don't respect your parents, then you got an issue, because there's something wrong with you. Because you should respect your parents, and because what your parents sometimes they may not be correct all the time, but more than likely they're on the ball. Trust me. You know, I know for a fact that they be on the ball. But let me get back to this point. I want to say again that corporations in America are practicing slavery, and there's nothing being done about it. And the EEOC, now I'm not going to knock the EEOC, because the EEOC they are tied and bound together because they are limited in what they can do for an individual. Okay? But the EEOC needs help. And the help that the EEOC needs is their own court system. The EEOC needs their own court system, and it needs to be a judge with artificial intelligence. Yes, we need artificial intelligence in our legal system because, like I stated before, we have too many individuals who have their own hidden agenda. And we see that. We as Americans should not be afraid of that. We shouldn't. They're using it in China. China is going off the hook. They're using electric cars, autonomous vehicles, everything they can get. They're using technology. They're going forward. That's why America's so angry with China. They're angry with China because China said, listen, fellas, we're glad you invented it. We're glad you created this technology. We appreciate that. Now we're going to take it a little further. We're going to utilize it. We're going to utilize it in our system. And America's now saying, what? They utilizing this technology. Yeah, we're going to take it to the furthest, as far as we can go with it. We're going to build our society and make it much stronger than yours. And that's what the guy said over there in China. And he meant that. He meant that. That's why, let me explain something to you folks why I'm here at this time. But it's going to be brief. We need artificial intelligence because in our society, because that our new technology is what make our economy strong. That's what has made every society since the beginning strong, because of the technological advances that the society has. Now, we need to start utilizing that in our legal system so we can combat this racism, this sexism, and all these other isms that discriminate against individuals. Now, I appreciate you coming to my channel And if you like my channel, subscribe. But as I say, this is critical thinking. And we're going to think critically with Andre. And that's my name, Andre. And I appreciate you coming here today. Thank you and have a good day.